Hey, what's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. Just in case you're here new for the very first time, this Facebook page, if you're happening to see this live, this Facebook page, on this page, over the past roughly 2 years, coming up, I think, on 2 years, we have interviewed a person a day every single weekday. So um I think there's almost 500 of these interviews. There may be more. Why am I telling you that at the very beginning of this show? Is because I want to start reminding all of you when you come on to the show, if you're brand new, that this interview may blow your mind because you're listening to somebody who came right before you, who's doing it, and you may find amazing hope that you've never found before at any other company or program or business you've started. But I also want you to remember that we've been doing this for nearly 2 years. Now, we've been in business. We're in our, I think, 6th year of business. But about 2 years ago, when all this stuff started in the world, you know what I'm talking about, I decided to start going live and interviewing our customers every day to show people in our community that we weren't going anywhere. And what happened was just this firestorm of success stories that's surfaced over the past couple of years. Maybe more. Well, definitely more. By far more than anything I've ever been involved in before. In anything that I've ever seen before. More success stories, more raw testimonials, more just people coming in here and thriving because of the right information from the right people in the right environment. And so, yes, this is true. I mean, Anas says no one does this, no one will. Show me a company, show me a guru who actually wants to talk to their customers every day. It's unbelievable nowadays. In order for a company to talk to their customers, I mean, you got to have lawyers involved, you got to have red tape, documents signed, all this kind of stuff. Because but you know what? This guest that I'm going to bring on this morning, I've never spoke to him before. As a matter of fact, he was just having video issues, and I didn't even know if we were going to be able to get him on this morning. But I see him. He's ready. He's yet another person inside of Legendary who's taken this knowledge, this information, and ran with it. And I'm excited to hear from him. Kane, welcome to the show, brother.
What's up, my man? How you doing?
How you doing?
All good, brother.
I like the hat. I like the hat, brother.
I got to rock it, bro. I got to rock it. Thanks, man. Hey, I can't believe I'm actually here, man. So it's cool. It's awesome. Nice.
Is this something that you wanted to do? You saw the show go on and you said, hey, maybe I could be on that show one day, or why are you saying thank you? I mean, did you watch the show before?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the thing is that I'm hitting these milestones ever since I started Legendary, man. I'm knocking them over, and this is one of them. Because at first it was just like getting like my first 1,000 followers on TikTok, and then it was getting my first high ticket sale, and then like now going on Wake Up Legendary.
Yeah.
And then like now I want to get those posters on my wall. I'm trying to get one of those watches, a ring, and I don't know if y'all giving out those grills, but I mean I want to get a grill off you too if you have
it. Hey man, your teeth are looking just fine, brother. Just keep smiling, bro. All right, now check this out. Amanda said, I'm just getting started, but I've never felt more seen and more safe getting involved in anything, not even my 9 to 5. I already feel like you guys are my family without ever knowing you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first got started?
Man, when I first got started, man, it was a journey, because like I tried a lot of whole different things, like let me try to kick it back.
Sure.
When I was 21, I had my firstborn and stuff, and that's pretty much when I started off working the 9 to 5 jobs. Because prior to that, I was always after that fast money. I was either like selling drugs or promoting concerts, selling clothes out of my car, Anything I can get my hands in, I will do it. But since I became a dad, I just try to figure like I gotta be legit. But that was always a struggle too, because I mean, I was making minimum wage, and I figure like, all right, maybe if I do a lot of overtime, that'll be the solution. Definitely not.
Right.
I even worked 2 jobs at a point. Definitely not. It just wear you out. And then
Right.
I figured, okay, maybe if I went to a different job, and that'll be the solution. But it was the same shit, different toilet. It was never the solution. And then pretty much my journey came like with the whole business thing in 2018 when marijuana became legal in California. So I tried to open up a dispensary. And I got pretty far on that. I came up with 100K. I was able to come up with a commercial building, got vendors. But the thing is, once the city came out with their licenses and stuff, they wanted 30K just for the license, and it was a bidding war, so it wasn't guaranteed, and it wasn't refundable. So I couldn't take that risk. And then one day, I came across Amazon FBA. So I went with that because I used to sell on eBay, but that was kind of limiting too, because having all that inventory sucked, and going out to the stores every single day, finding more and more products. And sometimes I'll be stuck holding the stuff.
Right.
But I figured like, you know what, now I can put everything in Amazon. So I was like, all right, this will probably be it. I got kind of far on that, but I never really saw the results that I wanted. And then when 2020 came along, there was talk about the tariffs and getting stuff overseas. And that was always a big thing too, because you just never know how much it was going to cost you to bring stuff over here from China. So I wanted to get away from physical products. So, I went and I found out about drop shipping. That didn't go really well for me. I saw Forex. That didn't go well for me either. Crypto and stocks, nothing really just kind of.
You've done it all, huh?
I've done it all, man. I did it all. But you know what? I didn't stop. I didn't stop because
from marijuana, legal and illegal, all the way on to FBA and drop shipping. Now on
man. But yeah, and then I came across affiliate marketing, and the thing is that I knew that it worked because I bought stuff through funnels before. So I was like, okay, yeah, all right, this stuff does work. I just didn't know anything about it. But I bought into 2 different courses, and that didn't work at all. And then the last course I got before Legendary was like, it kind of helped me, but it was funny because they told me about products that I should promote, and they mentioned you guys. So I got into it a little bit, but the thing is that I didn't want to get stuck into the shiny object syndrome that I fell into a few times. So I just finished out the course, but yet I didn't see any results. Then I went back to Legendary, got into TikTok, and that's pretty much when it changed me, bro. Because the thing is that not only did your training like resonate with me, it's just everything just clicked. Everything just clicked. And it wasn't just like the great like step-by-step training, but it was also the mindset that you also set up. Because a lot of trainings don't talk about that, and you do need to change your mindset for you to become successful in this. You can't just think that this fast money is going to happen when it's not. It's all a process, and yeah, man, here I am.
Nice. So what I mean, that's a journey, I mean, you've done a lot of things. You remind me of my story. When I first got started was a lot of Amazon FBA and drop shipping wasn't as popular in 2009-ish, 2010 as it is now, you know what I mean? So back when I started, it was a lot of MLM, there was a lot of MLM, man. And
I started getting into that too, like selling life insurance and stuff. And I remember someone tried to get me into one of those things, like, hey, you know what, we're gonna talk about business and stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. And then next thing I know, it was a bunch of people just hyped up and dancing and stuff. And I was like, what's this about? And then trying to get me in their group and saying like, oh, if you bring people and stuff, like, yeah, man, you can make a lot of money. But I was like, so we're not selling anything really, but like, yeah, but you want to bring more people so they can, you can make your money like that. I tried that too, and yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, well. I mean, look, they all these things, and they the bottom line is, are they as good of business models? No, they're not. And I'm not even going to go and soften up and be like, well, it's the right thing for the right person. I mean, the truth is that, with the world and the condition that it's in right now, your ass don't want to be relying on nobody, no China, no Xi Jinping, no Donald
Nothing.
Trump, no Joe Biden, no nobody. Because I'm going to tell you something, when you can't, for God's sakes, we couldn't even leave our house, let alone get products into the country. So if your
That part.
business model is built up off on going to stores like TJ Maxx and shit and looking for cheap products, you can't even leave your house. I mean, what are you doing? You can't, let alone get products in from China. So, is this the best business model? Yes, it is.
100%.
Selling information. I don't care who. Look, I could lay this business model out to 50 people in different states doing different things, and I could say, let's compare this business model, selling information, where it requires next to like low to no cost software solution. So all of the platforms I can advertise my information on are free, and it only costs me very little for the tools that I need, basically, to be able to operate the business model, which is a landing page builder and an autoresponder if I want to collect an email list, which I should. And the rest, there's no, I can get up and running today. I don't have to wait. I don't have to get enrolled or like wait for a package to come in. So, I mean, hearing you go through all those things just reminds me, number one, of the journey, because I think we all identify through our own story, and I remember my journey, and it was tough in the beginning, but it also, what came up for me was just how smart this business model is, and how every time I've gotten away from it over the years, I came back to it because it just made too much sense. There was no overhead. You know how with every product, the number one question is always, well, what's your cost to make the product? And with information, the only cost is your ass learning, if you're going to create your own course, the information to then be able to teach it, or simply, if you're doing affiliate marketing, just directing people, saying, I don't know anything, but this person over here does, and you can get instant access to this information to begin to change your life and get the result that you want. And that applies in any niche. That can be done in any niche, and then the customer gets instant access. I get instant access to my commissions, or as fast as possible. Yes. Because I don't have to wait for something to be shipped or whatever. I get instant access to my money, and I'm off and running, and there's no turning back. And so I don't know, that is one thing that came up for me, because sometimes I think people get a little wishy-washy and they hear mixed messages about business models, but have no confusion. I don't care who Tom, Dick, or Harry on Facebook said that FB or Amazon, FBA or drop shipping or anything else was better or simpler than this. I don't care if you do affiliate marketing or learn it from us, but selling information products and doing it as an affiliate, there is no simpler business model on the internet.
Yeah, you're not lying.
And Kane, I don't know. You don't have to agree with me. I don't give a shit. This is just my opinion.
I agree, because I done it all, Dave. I done it all. And the thing is that people need to realize that, like, dealing with physical products, it sucks, because you still have to deal with customers. You're gonna have defective products. You're gonna have to deal with returns, and then you're spending a lot of money on that, and it goes into your profits. And then
how about the MLM, when you sign up as a distributor and then they terminate you because you're going off doing other things because you're an entrepreneur? I mean, that's another thing. You have to be smart about what you're getting involved in. Yeah. The other challenge that a lot of people have been having on Amazon, and you can talk to guys like Austin Becker, who came over to affiliate marketing and had one of the best years of his life last year. But you start getting into trying to create your own products and expanding your Amazon empire, and a lot of these cats are getting hit with patent trademarks and or trademark lawsuits and all this kind of stuff, because they're riding the edge of products that are already invented and have patents and people who have come. So there's so many different pitfalls that you can fall into with businesses. And I mean, look at the thing that happened to you with the dispensary. You
Yeah.
were up and running. You were on your way, and then boom. I don't think people understand how with most businesses, there's a lot of red tape and a lot of shit you got to overcome to get that business off the ground. And with this, you're off the ground and running. And I want you to tell more of your story. And I know I made a big point about this, but it's a big deal. And I think for those of you who are watching and thinking about, don't look, there's going to be other things that come along that are going to be appealing and people are going to make them sound good. But if you have any track record of stuff that you've done before this, just look at it and learn from it and don't make the same mistake twice, because that's the definition of insanity, So for you, as you were kind of, going through this training in getting started, what was going through your mind? Did you say, oh, I can do this, no doubt? Did you have some imposter syndrome, some fear at all about doing video? I know we're going to talk about Pinterest. What was kind of your experience as you were going through the 15-day challenge and kind of starting to envision yourself doing some of this stuff?
Because of like my prior experience of trying to start everything else, like it was a lot. It was an easier process. The thing is that I still didn't understand how everything was, because I still, like, prior to that, I tried other courses and they didn't know how to lay out everything. I mean, at least they didn't lay out everything right for me to understand it. And then what caught me off guard really was putting myself in front of the camera and stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
That was a major thing for me too, because I was like, man, like I don't know about putting myself out there like that, but it really is a game changer, because people always want to talk about doing affiliate marketing as well and trying to do it without showing their face or whatnot, but it's really not that big of a deal. Once you start doing your first 3, 4, or 5 videos, then it's just like, oh, okay, it's repetition after that. It's not that people overthink the process, and that's what the problem is. You don't want to overthink it. You just go with the training and just everything that you laid out, Dave. It's there for a reason, and it just all makes sense once you start putting it together and taking it one day at a time. But yeah, it sucks because, like, at first, like, you don't have the following base, so you have your doubts about imposter syndrome, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. People like to see the journey as well. They want to see that a regular guy can go ahead and do it themselves as well. And yeah, I just taking it one day at a time, and you're gonna see the results. But it's just like it's part of the process, man. You're not gonna see success overnight. Nothing good in life happens overnight like that. That fast money does not last. I promise you, it does not last that long.
Yeah. Well, and that's true both in the streets and on the internet, isn't it? The truth is that the truth is that in my career online, there's been several times that I've gone for the quick cash grab, and it always bit me in the ass, because if being a business person is about making your customers feel safe and feel like you care, and they want to be sold, they want to be marketed to, they want to have an opportunity to say yes to change their life. And that's why I don't mind offering products or ever marketing or selling anything, because I know when somebody says yes to something like this, man, they're saying yes to changing their life. And to me, that's a wonderful choice to give somebody. And I love every time somebody says yes, because that's a whole move for them to say, you know what? Yes, I want to change, grow. I want more. So what more of a beautiful thing can you sell, right? And can you market? So I love selling and marketing. But the thing I was going to say about, just this business model and this business model and being in business, I learned, is just about caring and giving value to people, being valuable. And whether my value as a business person or a content marketer nowadays, right? We're all marketers, we're all content creators, is to just make somebody laugh, and or if it's to make somebody think, or if it's to give them a few nuggets of my experience or tell them my story. I mean, those are all ways that I can add value. And as long as I'm doing that, I can market and give call to actions and sell stuff until the cows come home, and I can have unlimited upside. I can make as much, but the moment that I stop giving value and thinking of my business as there are people on the other end of this who are receiving this message, that's the moment that I'm going to start to suffer and my business is going to. So let's look at this. There's a transition of being self-conscious, thinking all about ourselves, right, Kane? When we first get started, it's like the video, and it's like, oh, it's all about me. I mean, I'm not looking good, or people are going to judge me, right? We're totally self-absorbed. And there's a moment when you stop giving a shit and you transition over into how can I add value to people and start thinking externally, what kind of content can I make that's going to impact people? Do you remember when that happened for you, or has it happened yet? Just the day that you just said, okay, I gotta stop giving a shit. I remember the time for me. I was walking around my dog. I was feeling unsure about telling my story and being more vulnerable in content. And I heard a guy, I was listening to a sales training from Jeffrey Combs, and he talked about being an alcoholic. And that really gave me the freedom to loosen up in my content and start being more external instead of all in my head. You know, Tony Robbins says, if you're in your head, you're dead. So when I was creating content at first, I was all in my head, and it allowed me to be a more external. Is this resonating with you? Do you know what I'm talking about? To where you're so self-conscious at first, and you said you had that imposter syndrome, but then one day or slowly over time, you just go from being all up in your head to just executing and operating and focusing on the customer. What's coming up for you as I'm saying this?
Yeah, I mean, going through it at first, yeah, you're gonna have that self-doubt, and thinking that like, oh, okay, well, what makes me special? What you hear other people's stories and stuff, people that are already making it and that are successful, and you're like, man, well, my story's not like theirs. You're always trying to compare yourself to them and not realizing that everyone's story is unique, and that's what right there, that's going to bring you separate from everyone else. That's when people say like, oh, the market's saturated with that. No, it's not. And your story is going to resonate with someone else, and the thing is, like, me and you can be selling the same thing, right, or promoting the same thing, but the thing is that someone's probably going to see my story compared to yours and be like, you know what, I resonate with Kane more than I do with Dave. And it's just be yourself, and the thing is, like, you don't want to don't limit yourself with that. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and I mean, I don't know, people just are probably afraid to be judged as well, and there's no one out here to judge, no one knows everyone's story and stuff like that. But yeah, I understand where you come from. I can't hear you, Dave.
Nobody should have the power to take up space for free inside of your head. You better damn well start charging rent if you're going to give them that much time and space inside of your head, right? I mean, a lot of us give a lot of Section 8 up in the cranium. I mean, there's some low cost housing up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about TikTok and Pinterest in your journey of marketing. What can we learn from your experience? I mean, I know that you've got some Pinterest experience and you've started to get some traction there, but tell us a little bit about, what do you know that you didn't know before about driving traffic?
Yeah, that was a big thing for me. I just, like, coming up with content in general was just like, okay, what am I going to do? But I always hear people like on Wake Up Legendary saying like, just look at other people's content, and just try to make it into your own stuff. And that's exactly what I did. And little by little, as you make these videos, you start coming up with your own ideas, and the more experience you have like things that you come across, that your problems, other people are going to have those similar problems as well. So then you can start making content out of that. But once you start getting the ball rolling and stuff, and you start seeing people like leads come in and little commissions come in, you're like, oh shit, like it's real, it's real. And funny because you had I believe it was Dee the marketer, you had her on with her husband, and I remember she was talking about Pinterest. So I reached out to her and I asked her like, oh, what kind of training did you take or whatnot? She's like, I didn't take any training. I just kind of did it this way with Pinterest. And so I went with how she said it. And next thing you know, I started to make it there, because it was a slow start. It was a slow start with Pinterest. I didn't know what I was doing. But like they have it where you can do like idea pins, and that's where it pretty much took off with Pinterest with me and stuff. And little by little, I was coming up there and stuff. And even with TikTok, I mean, yeah, I've been hitting these little milestones. Like my first 1,000 followers, I never thought I'd get 1,000 followers. Now I think I have like almost 8,600 and stuff, and I'm still going. I'm still putting out content, waiting for that big one to blow me up. But I mean, even so, you don't need to have that many followers for you to start seeing results off of it. That's the beauty of it. And then when you repurpose your content, you put it on YouTube and Instagram and all that, like that's more traffic that's coming around. So that's more opportunity for you. So you don't limit yourself and don't think like, oh, because I don't have 100,000 followers and stuff that I can't do this. Don't think that way. There's people that I see on the show that they barely start like the first 3 months and they're already kicking ass, so yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I was just looking at some. Just looking at some of your stuff. It's hilarious, man. It's hilarious, isn't it? Here, did we get your? So we'll put up your Pinterest channel. Here, My Life Ambition, and people can connect with you there. We'll put up your TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, you can find me. That's pretty much for all my platforms: Instagram,
My
TikTok,
Life Ambition. Okay, that's all right.
Ambition. There you go.
But what? I mean, talk to us a little bit more about this Pinterest thing, because you had said something about the idea post or whatever, and just give us a little bit, the nutshell version of kind of what you learned and what you're doing, so if people want to use Pinterest, they could at least have a little bit of a head start today.
Honestly, it's not really much to it, because you have like, when you start posting up on Pinterest, you have different options. And I was doing everything as a pin, where you can start putting in your affiliate link. But you just want to make sure that you put your affiliate link in your bio, and then from there just start creating idea pins. I don't know what's up with Pinterest right now, but you can with idea pins, for some reason Pinterest is really loving that, and they're just shooting out your stuff. And I don't know what it is, but I first started with regular pins, and I wasn't seeing much traction until I started using idea pins. That's when more and more people started seeing my stuff. My followers started going up, because at first, when I first started, I was like following everybody and just seeing maybe that would help me out, but that wasn't really the case. As you see, look how many people I'm following. I was following a bunch of people, and hopefully, that would help me out, but that wasn't it.
So when did you start? When did you start this?
September.
Okay. So no, I mean, I was scrolling through, like, you got a lot of content on Pinterest. There's no doubt, man. I mean, and this is what I think you all need to, like, look at this stuff. It's all the same. Like, this is really easy content to create. And what happens when you create enough content on enough channels is, at a certain point, the traffic just becomes, to where you couldn't turn it off if you tried.
You want that omnipresence, right, Dave?
Yeah. And at first it sucks. And I was going to say this before and earlier, when you got them no followers, or those 5 followers, and you're feeling like a real, like a real duck. But everybody has to go through that. I mean, every single person has to go through that. I don't really know what to say to people. I mean, shout out to the people of Ukraine. You know what I mean? Right now, just 2 points to make about them is, like, first of all, horrific in as an entire community, in company specifically. I just want to send love to those people and anybody in our community as friends and family there.
Yeah.
Number two is that when I look at what those people are going through, and I think about the uncomfortability and the sacrifice and in all this, and then I think about me, and I think about the uncomfortability that I have to go through with picking up my camera and posting some videos. It allows me to get a different perspective, to realize that I get to pick up my camera and I get to do this shit, and sometimes being able to see something horrific in somebody else's life makes me want to take my problems right back off that table. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When I start putting all my problems on, and then I see your problems, and then I say, oh shit, let me get my problems back. You know what I mean?
Wake up call. Yeah.
Wake up legendary. And so, I don't say that to make anybody feel bad. I say that to help you, to offer you, to invite you, to just put on a different pair of glasses with some of this stuff. It's just a simple shift of perspective. And that all came up because I was looking at, how much content you created and the fact that you've worked your ass off, and there's going to be a certain point when all of this traffic combined, coming from TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, all these places, is going to be so much that you're not going to know when the traffic, where a sale even came from. It's going to be hard to track it. That's what happens, and that's a great place to be. So
100%,
looking forward to that, everybody, and I'm sure you're probably already somewhat experiencing that with everything that you've created. But I wondered if you would respond to that if you want, but I also want to know if you would show us just the simple difference between an idea pin and a regular pin. If you could just walk me through that here on the screen so we could see the difference.
I mean, I think you have that plus button right there, right? You can see that plus button on the right side where you're going to add content.
Are you talking about for me? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. I'm talking about like on the right side of your screen, there's a plus and then a question mark. I'm not sure what that is, but I know there's a plus button when you're trying to add content.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, you can create a pin and create a board or whatnot. I haven't really done all that.
So can you explain, though, what the difference between an idea pin and a regular pin? I mean, I guess that's what I'm trying to get at, because I want people to understand, is this Pinterest stab at trying to model something like what TikTok has? Or is this, I mean, just can you give us a little more of an explanation about the difference between an idea pin and a regular pin?
You know what's funny about it, Dave? I don't even know, man.
It's a beautiful thing. Well, you know what? Hey, look, here's
I just know right now, like, I think that's the newest thing that they're trying to push in Pinterest. So, like, just like TikTok, whenever they come out with a new feature, a new tool, you want to jump on that because that's what they're pushing up.
But listen, you don't need to know, dog. You just told me you didn't know the answer. So let's just keep it super affiliate G style, which is I don't know the answer, but we'll get the answer for you. I'm not the expert. And while you're at it, you might want to go check out this product. You always got to give a call to action when you're done talking. While you're at it, while you're waiting, while you're waiting for me to come back with that information, go ahead and watch this video and see if any of this interests you. No, it's brother, listen, it's a beautiful thing that guys like us with histories of, you said that you had some you had some history, and here we are, with very little opportunity in the regular real world. I mean, when I was 18, I got arrested right when I was 18. You know, I was out, you know, screwing off. I had a fake ID on me, you know, so I could get into clubs or buy alcohol or some shit. And
Yeah.
and right when I turn 18, I get arrested, you know, for possession of an unauthorized driver's license. I
Happens,
got a
man.
felony on my record, you know, right when I'm 18. And you know, I mean, this was when I was trying to get my shit together and didn't know my ass from a hole in the ground anyways, but you know, I was scarred for life basically, you know, at
Yeah.
that point. And in a sense I kind of said fuck it. You know, a lot of times, and I think that's what's unfortunate about our society is there's no real second chances for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you just kind of get labeled, categorized, compartmentalized, and pretty much your destiny is determined. And it sucks because a lot of these things are happening to us when our brains are not even fully developed. We're making decisions about taking out huge student loans. We're making decisions about going and, you know, doing shit that gets us arrested when we're 18. And you know, I feel like my brain's not even still fully developed, but the science shows us that a male's brain fully develops 24, 25 years old. So
Yeah.
here I am legally making all these decisions about my future. And, you know, I'm not even fully grown up. And I just love this where we have something and have found something that guys and girls and any thems and theys and everybody in betweens can come and find success and fulfillment where there's no barriers, there's no, you know, there's no my
He sounds cool.
my wife came over wanted to see what you look like.
No.
He's a stud. I mean, the guy's a stud. What can you
Oh
do?
man,
You
thank you.
know, I know not my type, but I mean, plenty of fish in the sea for you, my friend. Are you married? Do you have children or anything? Or
Yeah, I have three babies. I've been married over 10 years now. You know, so I
wow,
had to get my act together, man. And that was the thing. And
that's
that
right.
actually
That's right.
funny that you bring that up because that was my next question for you too. Because like
Hey, who's interviewing
I'm
who here?
you know, the thing is like that's I'm so hungry for it, Dave. I'm so hungry for it, you know. And the thing is that like I'm running into an issue where I'm trying to balance business with family, you know, and I don't know, like you're like if you have any advice for me on that.
I have no advice for you on that, brother. I mean, I've lived 10 years of a chaotic entrepreneur, you know, over a decade of a chaotic entrepreneur lifestyle. And
Yeah.
I'm richer than I've ever been because of it. You know what I mean?
Uh,
It's taken a toll on my marriage, you know. It's definitely there's been some times where it's been rough and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know, I've separated from my wife multiple times. I've you know, my life is not perfect. You know, my wife and I are better than we've ever been right now
yeah.
and closer than we've ever been. But I mean, you know, I came into this game fresh, basically off the streets back in 2008 and 9. And, you know, I had to grow myself up in many ways, you know, both business wise, but also I had to grow myself up and learn how to be a man and a father and a husband. And I'm still learning that. So,
Yeah.
I think the idea of work-life balance, it's a fun idea to talk about. I've got some boundaries around work that I set that help me to have work-life balance. And I think I'm also to a point to where I'm tired of working 10 and 12 and 14 hours a day, but I did it for 10 years, you
Yeah.
know? So not because I had to, because I wanted to, you know, because I love doing this. And so now today, you know, I work in a different house than I live. You know, I stop working at 5 o'clock for the most part every day because that's when I eat dinner with my family. You know, I don't I try not to work when I'm home. That's my boundary. You know, if you have an office in your house and you just have to close the door and maybe that's when you're not at work, but setting up specific boundaries, having clear communication about when I'm going to be done and then trying to be done at that time. I'd always tell my wife 5 more minutes, it'd be an hour. That would piss her off. And you know, just trying to, and also as much as I'm going after my dream and working so hard and feel like, us men especially, we think, we always think that we're being disrespected by everybody, but to not just because I'm working hard and maybe even earning good money, all of a sudden think that now I'm better than or unequal to my spouse because maybe she's doing more housekeeping or homework or taking care of kids or things like that. I think that's another learning how to actually respect my spouse's dreams and ask her or him instead of always, and this is the difference between being internal or external, right? If I'm internal, I'm self-absorbed and I'm selfish and narcissistic, then it's all about me, and is all I'm going to say is, I don't feel supported by you, you're not supporting my business, right?
Yeah.
Or when I go external, and this is when I mature and start thinking more like a business owner and like a father and a husband, and I grow myself up, I start thinking, okay, I'm going after a dream right here that's mine. It's not hers, it's mine. Now, she's supportive. That doesn't mean she has to sit there and go, Dave, 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 Dave at my desk every day. Like, Dave, Dave, you're so great. Can I rub your back and give you a, what? I mean, that's a fantasy world. That's a fantasy world that I live in sometimes. That I think that just because I'm, going after my dreams or doing, earning some money, that now all of a sudden everybody should roll out the red carpet for me. Yeah. So it's helped me to, while I'm focused on my business and my dreams, to not need everybody to be supporting me or rolling out the red carpet, but instead I use my family as a client, my very first client, to say, how can I serve you and support you and love you the same, and not make it all about me, but make you so happy and feel loved and supported the same way that I want to make my clients and customers feel.
Yeah.
That's a different way to look at it. You know what I mean? Besides, because I feel like if you can't sell your spouse and your kids and make them feel loved and supported and them like you and be connected to them, how do you feel like you're going to go out and sell and influence the world? You think you're going to be disconnected from the people that you're closest to, but super connected and influential over the rest of the world? That's not how it works. Yeah. So those are some of the things that I've done and learned over the years, and I still fail. But it's gotten better.
Yeah. Thanks for that, man. Yeah. That's real talk for real. And, yeah, thankfully, I have a supportive wife, and, I mean, shoot, I invested so much money. I like everything I make, I put back into my business and stuff. And, and I always try to better myself. And thankfully, like I said, she's supportive and she helps me with the kids. Cause I mean, taking care of 3 kids it's a full-time job for sure, man. And it's hard, and I'm trying to make a better life for us, and that's why I'm so hungry for it. But in the same time, I don't want to deprive my kids and stuff. So I try to make some time for them during the week and try to do stuff with them, but yeah.
Well, a lot of times people in this business or male entrepreneurs end up divorced or in conflict because we want to be supported, because we're on a mission. We want to be supported just because and that's why so many people feel unsupported by friends and family. But I mean, the truth of the matter is that it's not my wife's job to be my everything. She can't be my lover, my friend, my business support, my secretary, and I'm the person who, births my kids, takes care of my kids, all this. I have unrealistic expectations on people. First and foremost, my wife. And so, I have to, I have to be able to get that validation from other places. I have to be able to get the validation from other places. I can't seek validation and support from my wife. She can't be everything to me. So that's why I encourage people to be, she just can't fulfill all those needs. She's only human. And so, so I need to build a support group right here inside of this community, to where I can have people who are looking at my stuff saying that's awesome or giving me attaboys, because my wife's not always going to be happy with me. So I can't place my determination or whether I am still excited about my business, whether my wife is supporting me or not. If she's not supporting me, it's probably because I'm not supporting her, And so, again, one of the best phrases that I ever learned, I said this a lot, was, how can I make you feel loved and supported right now, honey? And instead of and that's sales as well. We learn how, instead of always needing to talk, we learn how to ask questions to connect. And so instead of always trying to convince my wife and sell her on all these things, I would just say, well, what do you need? How can I make you feel loved and supported? Well, I need you to be done every day at 5 p.m. A lot of times their needs are very simple, and I'm just overcomplicating or not hearing it or not asking. So the communication between my wife and I has improved mainly because I've started to listen and I've started to ask the right questions. And oftentimes, just when I ask the right questions and make her feel seen and heard, and like I'm not just totally absorbed about myself and my business, we treat our business like it's some fucking, like it's like some, I remember when I just treated my business like it was damn near more important than my family. And it's just like, I got to get out of that. I can't, if my child is crying or something like that and I'm at home, I need to deal with my children, not grab my wife and say, go take care of that. So I've had to learn to grow myself up in becoming successful. The more successful I become, the more humble I have to become if I want to keep the shit that I love.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it's just keep adapting, keep growing up, and just learn as you go, and that's exactly what I've been trying to do and stuff. And just surround myself with people as yourself, successful people, and kind of learn it and just see how they're doing it, but yeah, I just gotta
Stay
keep it
plugged
pushing.
in and keep learning, brother, and keep being humble and keep creating that content, man. I mean, just never stop taking action. Income producing activities. And every day, how am I serving people and connecting with people? And those are the income producing activities, not the dumb shit that we get setting up, dicking around with our funnels and all this other shit that we do to waste time and avoid doing the income producing activities. You keep doing that, you'll be fine. And everybody else on this listening, you keep doing that, you'll be fine. Yeah, it sucks getting to 1,000 followers, or yeah, it sucks getting those first 20 posts on Pinterest or whatever it is, but it sucks for everybody. Sucks for everybody. I'm just thankful I'm not in Ukraine today, my friend. With that being said, listen, brother Kane, thanks for your story today and your time, my brother. We're going to send everybody to go and follow and support you, and come back and keep us posted here in a couple of months. All right, brother?
Yeah, man, and keep doing you, Dave, man. Appreciate everything you brought out there. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everyone, legendary marketer. Like, you guys are doing it, man. So 100% support, man, part of the team.
Thanks, brother. Really appreciate that, man, and looking forward to meeting you one day, okay? Shaking your hand.
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, bro.
All right, my friends, that is a wrap, not only for today, but also for the week. It's Friday, so text. So you make sure, for some of you who are coming on late, we see you. You announce yourself. It's okay. We don't mind that you come on late. But if you can get a text message and listen to the entire show, it's just better experience. You get all the nuggets. So the words WUL, just type that in the section of your phone where you would usually text your message, and text WUL to 813-296-8553. We'll send you a non-intrusive, non-spammy text, and then we'll never spam you. Just send you text messages reminding about the show. Have a great week, my friends. We're going to send an email out, as we do every Saturday, about all the episodes this week. If you don't get that email every set, it's called a weekly roundup. Make sure that you email support, and so you're making sure that you're getting our emails. You can contact support at legendarymarketer.com, And remember that you can listen to all these episodes on your favorite podcast platform, YouTube. They're all right here on this Facebook channel. We even transcribe the dadgum things and put them on our blog in case you want to read them. Go out and have a fantastic Friday. Have a great weekend. Meet us back here on Monday for another episode. Peace.